50-50 fight for me. He going up in weight. You know, Terence going to be great, bro. But at the end of the day, he got the skill to do it. He got the skill to go do some shit that other motherfuckers can't do. You know, he just got that. You know, everybody got a little something in them, bro, that everybody don't got in them. He got it.
The jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10, you know. But would you say he's a very smart fighter? Yes, very calculated. Right. Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing? I think he does. But the thing is he going to be able to even like to capitalize on it? 'Cause he's a smaller fighter. And look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of, can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it. But can Canelo do it? And I think he has a bigger chance of doing it than Crawford does. Evander Holyfield has some harsh words about Canelo Alvarez's upcoming showdown with Terence Crawford. It could be hard to beat Canelo. He real basing, but he a good fighter. Canelo has built a reputation of being a fearsome force at 168 pounds, having already conquered notable names like Callum Smith, Gerald Charlo, and Gennady Golovkin. Canelo has been virtually unstoppable in his division. He made his move to super middleweight in 2018 and has reigned supreme since, solidifying his place as one of boxing's greatest fighters. However, his opponent Crawford is not an ordinary challenger. Crawford, known for his unparalleled skill, set and ability to fight from both orthodox and southpaw stances, is stepping up to 168 pounds for the first time in his career. It's a 50-50th fight.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love boxing.
Who gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage. Just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready. He's always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But he ain't got...
For me, he going up in weight, Terence is going to be great, bro. But at the end of the day, he got the skill to do it. He got the skill to go do some that other mother can't do. He just got that. Everybody got a little something in them, bro, that everybody don't got in them. He got it in. While Canelo has been campaigning at this weight for years, Crawford is making a significant leap, moving up to weight classes after conquering 140 pounds and 147 pounds. The match is a fascinating clash of styles and skill sets, but it's also a test of Crawford's ability to handle.
You have two great fighters. Great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo.
The size and power of Canelo, who has proven to be a monster in the super middleweight division. One thing that sets this fight apart is the opinions of various experts who have weighed in, with differing perspectives on how the fight will play out. Holyfield, known for his own success after moving up in weight, has made it clear that he thinks Canelo will prove too much for Crawford. Holyfield believes that while Crawford is undeniably a great boxer, Canelo's power and experience will be decisive.
Tough one. Look, I like betting fights or making picks, and I'm usually pretty good on all my picks, even when I had the podcast. But sometimes because people look for that fighter, that former world champion, and they like want to pick them apart if they get it wrong. This is one of the fights where I want to sit back and watch and not worry about my pick. Canelo is a small middleweight, super middleweight. He just is. But he's also showed that he could go up in weight class, and he's a great fighter. I mean, that's it. Crawford is so talented. He's got so much ability in boxing, his boxing ability. And he's a bigger guy, too. He's almost every bit as big as Canelo, right? So that's what makes it tough. Like, yeah, Canelo's used to fighting guys coming down from 200 probably, you know, at light heavyweight. And Crawford ain't. But it's just too hard to pick on it because of Crawford's ability and boxing skills. I'm not going off of Canelo's last fight. You know, the guy he was fighting was in survival mode pretty much. He was just fighting not to get knocked out. When you fight a guy like that, you're not going to look good, right? I don't care what anybody says. When you're fighting a guy that's running around trying to survive, it makes it hard. So I don't go off of that, but this fight is going to be interesting. I mean, I would almost have to kind of lean with Canelo, but I'm not making that pick. Just saying.
Holyfield said it's going to be hard to beat Canelo. He's real basic, but a good fighter. Stephen A. Smith has also thrown his support behind Crawford. Although with some reservations, he believes that Crawford will manage to outpoint Canelo in a decision victory using his superior speed, movement, and boxing IQ to avoid the heavy punches Canelo is known for. Smith points out that Canelo tends to rely on power shots, which could play into Crawford's hands if he can keep his distance and box smartly. He also notes that Crawford's increased size and strength gain from his recent training may allow him to hold his own against the heavier Canelo. However, Smith also acknowledged
Canelo's at a little early on. Put Canelo behind, right? Even if it's 3 out of the first 4 rounds. Because when Canelo has to fight, okay, when Canelo has to step it up, after 7 rounds, he starts to fade a little bit. We've seen that with Bivol. We've seen it in a lot of his fights with Triple G. You know, when Canelo could control the fight and the ring generalship, like, yeah, he could fight 12 rounds pretty good. But when Canelo gets pushed early on in the fight, he starts to fade muscle endurance-wise. So if I was Crawford, I would kind of stay in it a little bit on, you know, the early rounds and make him have to play catch-up in rounds 3, 4, 5. And then by round 7, that's where, you know, he can really step up.
Acknowledges that engaging Canelo in a brawl could lead to disaster, as the Mexican champion's power could be too much for Crawford to handle. You got a love for boxing. Who going to win the fight? Man, that's coming up. The Big Friday in Box Crawford. Crawford, I'm not hesitating. Crawford, I'm not even hesitating. Crawford, you going to stand on that all the way to September 13th. I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez, but I do believe that if you can box and you can move that you can beat Canelo, you can outpoint him. That's right. When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud, right? It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot. That's a power shot. Yeah, not beating Crawford. I will confess. I think
it's not about only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready. Because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared. You become weak. Your body become weak. You know, when something happened and it's something new and you wasn't ready for it, we all know these feelings. Like the body become melting, like just soft. You know, and mentality is very important also for this fight. Even his 1 weight class or 2 weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches and be okay with this. He could be good. At the same time, we saw how Canelo was fighting against another guys like Charlo, maybe Smith, Callum Smith. And we saw the huge difference. I think it's not because of weight class, it's about mentality of the
Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. he said Crawford could find himself in trouble when it comes to size. There's no denying the gap. Canelo Alvarez is the naturally bigger, stronger man, and while Terence Crawford has added muscle and will walk into the ring looking just as big. There's a key difference. Canelo has lived at super middleweight for years. He's comfortable here. He knows what it takes to dominate at one. Canelo's always prepared, Stephen A. Smith explained. He doesn't come in unfocused. But I think Crawford's brilliance as a boxer, his ability to switch stances, use the jab, and control the pace, that's what makes the difference. He's faster, he's sharper, and I believe he'll outpoint Canelo. Not knock him out, but outpoint him. Not everyone agrees. Ryan Garcia, who is trained alongside Canelo, sees the fight differently.
Initially, I said, oh, man, this is just a money grab. I mean, Crawford started at 135. How is he going to be at a guy that's fight as high as 175? And then you saw Canelo's fight against William School, his last fight. It wasn't a good fight, man. You've seen that he doesn't have that fastball anymore. He doesn't have he's never had fast feet, but at least he's not cutting off the ring like he used to. Yeah. And the explosiveness in his combinations and in half speed, it wasn't there either because there was nothing to hit. So can you imagine a Bud Crawford who's nowhere near a William School? School just ran. He didn't try to win that fight. Bud's going to try to win the fight. He's going to have the footwork. He's going to have the hand speed. He's going to have, maybe not the power of Canelo, but he's going to have respectable pop in that punch coming from both stances, mind you, the left-handed and the right-handed stance. And I just think ultimately Crawford just is a mean mofo. This dude mean. I mean, I met Bud a couple of times. He pulls me aside and he gives me that look. He's a mean, intimidating dude, man. Yeah. And then I've been seeing how he's been growing into the frame. He's gotten big. He's gotten muscular, and he's looking more like a middleweight, super middleweight. The closer the fight gets, the more I'm looking at Crawford like. This dude might do something, man. Because all along, I haven't changed my tune. I say Canelo's going to win this fight, but he's not going to come out of it unscathed. I can see him being bruised up, battered, maybe a little bit of blood, but his size is going to come in the end. Now I'm starting to change my tune. I could maybe see the day that we've seen Canelo finally get old. No excuses, just Crawford pot-shotting him, having the night of his life, and we just watch something great. I can visualize it, man. So the closer this fight gets, the more that I'm looking at it like a 50-50.
Respect Crawford. He's great, Garcia admitted. But Canelo's strength is on another level. I've seen him push back heavyweights in the gym. For the first time in years, he'll actually be the bigger man. That's dangerous. I can't wait for the fight, but if I had to bet my money, it's on Canelo. I could see Crawford getting caught like Amir Khan did. The experience factor is another layer. Former middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik sees Canelo's years at the top against bigger men as a major edge. Canelo's used to fighting guys moving down from light heavyweight, Pavlik said. Crawford hasn't fought anyone naturally this big. That's the challenge, but at the same time...
I do need to get your opinion on Canelo Crawford. How do you think that fight plays out?
It's a difficult fight. Crawford, he has the skills to box and stay on the outside, but Canelo has the power, the size advantage, so it's a very difficult fight to call. I know Crawford will have to box a perfect fight for 12 rounds. Canelo can change the fight with one punch, so it's a very difficult fight. I've been saying that I favor Crawford. People don't like it, but it is what it is. I would favor Crawford in this fight.
Crawford's skill set makes this fight impossible to predict. His boxing ability is that good. For Pavlik, it's a matchup that defies easy answers. This is one of those fights where I'd rather just sit back and enjoy it than try to make a pick. Canelo's proven at the weight. Crawford is supremely talented, that's what makes it fascinating. So the divide remains. Some see Canelo's size, strength, and experience carrying him to victory. Others believe Crawford's speed, movement, and IQ can neutralize the Mexican superstar. On September 13th, the question will finally be answered. Can the smaller man make history, or will Canelo Alvarez once again prove... Crawford will need to fight perfectly for all 12 rounds, because Canelo can flip the script with just one punch. It's a tough call, but I lean toward Crawford Evan. If people don't like it, that's my pick. This ongoing debate has fans and experts divided. Can the smaller Crawford really survive the raw physicality of a natural super middleweight like Canelo? Crawford's adaptability, speed, and razor-sharp precision have carried him to dominance. But standing across from him is a fighter whose experience at this weight class is unmatched. Knockout power present a colossal obstacle. Some believe Crawford's technical brilliance will dismantle Canelo's power. Others